in the desert are dwindling down to a precious few for both the Rockies and the Mariners. And today, they'll close out the home season here in Peoria for the Seattle Mariners. And what a pitching matchup we have. Baseball from Arizona. It's the Rockies taking on the Seattle Mariners. Good day, everybody. Dave Sims along with Jeff Houston and Mike Blowers. So glad to have you with us in our pitching matchup today. Jamie Moyer, 49 years young, against Felix Hernandez.
I like the way you put that, 49 years young, because this guy has defied all odds. You think about it. Last year, missing the whole season with Tommy John surgery, hasn't pitched in the big for a couple years, comes into camp with an opportunity to maybe open some eyes, but he did more than that. The numbers he put up allowed him the opportunity to be the number 2 starter come Saturday in Houston, and who would have thought that? I know a lot of fans in Seattle know about Jamie Moyer, but this guy is a true competitor, going up against guys that are sometimes 20, even 25 years younger than he is.
And he said last year when we saw him, he was going to come back at 49. Now we have to believe him, and here he is. Meanwhile, on the flip side for the Mariners, Felix Hernandez, one of the great aces in the game.
Well, he is, and I think if you look at the opposite side of that, here is a young veteran for the Mariners. He's the guy, one of the younger guys on the club, but he's also one of the veterans. And when you look at Felix opening day, again, setting the stage for the Mariners, going out 8 innings pitched, giving up just the 1 earned run. The biggest thing for Felix is he eats up a lot of innings, Dave, and where the bullpen is right now, he gives those guys a day off every 5th day, and it really is a nice luxury for Eric Wedge, somebody that can manage around that, expecting Felix to go deep into games. Today, I think he's just getting a little bit of work in. He'll be back on the mound on Saturday in Oakland, so I think the biggest thing for Felix is just get a little bit of work in today and stay sharp.
Great spring training matchup. You can sink your teeth in. Moyer against Hernandez. It's a beauty, and we have it for you. First pitch is straight ahead. Cactus League Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Taco Bell's new Doritos Locos Tacos. Live Moss. Superstition Mountain, glad you're with us here in Peoria, Arizona. Dave Sims, Jeff Houston, Mike Blowers. Look at this day here, gorgeous, a little windy. And, boys, that could be a factor here today. The wind's whipping around, we're even getting it coming in from right field.
I think it's the first time that I've seen it blowing in the way it is today, and it's always an issue down here is the sun, but then you throw the wind on top of it. There's going to be a few adventures out there today, Huey, on the fly balls.
What you're saying is good luck, outfielders?
Pretty much, yes.
Boys, you're on your own. Let's take a look at today's Mariners. Make that the Rockies starting lineup, brought to you by Taco Bell. Eric Young Jr. is going to get it going. Dexter Fowler, Carlos Gonzalez, Willen Rosario, Tyler Colvin. A lot expected out of him. He's having a good year. 8th in Cactus League hitting. Nelson, Pacheco, Harris, and Herrera. Felix Hernandez on the mound, one of the best in the business, 2-2 with a 4.50 ERA, and he is incapable of throwing a straight pitch.
That's a fact, and we saw that on opening day, and Felix's fastball will be around 94 miles an hour with a tremendous amount of movement to it. I don't know if we want to look too much into what it all looks like today as far as hits and all those kinds of things. Remember, he started the season already for the club in Japan. A little bit of a letdown for him today, having to get through and get this work done before he starts pitching for real again on Saturday in Oakland.
Eric Young Jr. will get us going.
One for fans back in the Rocky Mountain region, Eric Young Jr. was just told this morning that he has made the opening day roster.
Nice. First pitch down low for ball one. Take a look at the Mariners defense. Felix into his wind, the 1-0. And here's a look at the Mariner defense. Good coverage is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino. Figgins, Wells, and Ichiro in the outfield. Liddy, Ryan, Kawasaki, Smoke in the infield with Montero behind the plate. 1-1. Showing bunt, missed it. When I look at EY Jr. from up here, my God, you can't help but see his dad. I mean, the resemblance is unbelievable.
It's uncanny. They're both fast, and you look at what Eric Young Jr. has been able to do, all the stolen bases this spring and keeping the ball out of the air. That was the key for him. Hit the ball on the ground, and you have a chance for a base hit.
1-2 pitch, breaking ball. Check, he did not go. Count at 2-2.
Did a broadcast the other day with the Diamondbacks, and I asked his dad that very quick, who is faster?
Right.
Yeah, and he deferred to his son, like I think any good father would do.
2-2. Strike three call. One down. So Felix picking up where he left off, Mike, in that opener in Japan against the Athletics.
And that last pitch to Eric Young, you saw the fastball in off the plate and running it on the corner. We were able to see a lot of that when he was pitching in Japan. Again, tremendous movement on all the pitches for Felix. He had a great changeup going early in the game. Then he was able to mix in his breaking ball, but 6 strikeouts total for Felix in the outing. Only 5 hits allowed. But it looks like he has the same type of stuff going today here early in the game.
Here's Fowler. Dexter Fowler, switch hitting center fielder, fouls one off.
I liked your description just a moment ago, Mike, as far as what kind of intensity are you going to get out of Felix? Because you think about going and already playing a season and then coming back, or playing a couple games into your season and then coming back for spring training. It's unheard of.
It is. I had a chance to talk to Eric Wedge about that this morning, and he said the team as a whole, including all of the pitchers, they were all geared up to get things going. You finally leave Arizona, and you're done with it, and now all of a sudden they're back. So he said the first couple of days he felt like guys were flat, and he's hoping that they can slowly start to get it going again before they get out of here.
A lot of English on that one. Liddy throws over to Smoke for the second out. Get that off the end of the bat. 2 outs here in the Rockies first. It brings up Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah, the privilege of opening up in Japan in 2000 when I was with the Cubs, and we came back after going over there, but we had 3 or 4 days off before we then played again, and we didn't have any games in between, but it took me all of those 3 or 4 days to feel normal again. And I couldn't imagine then just coming back and trying to play a game 2 days after you landed.
It's a test. Let me tell you, it is a test. Breaking ball in there for strike one to Gonzalez.
And I don't know if it's the amount of travel or just all the things that you go through, but also with the Mariners club right now, they have a number of guys that are also sick. They got off the plane, they weren't feeling well. And so Eric's trying to juggle all of that, too. That's one of the reasons why Ackley's not in the lineup again. But he was saying the same thing. Some guys are having a tough time sleeping at night right now and just trying to get their bodies back in order. And Dave and I are in the same boat after calling the games back in Bellevue, and the club was over there. But, it's one of the things that when I first heard about the trip, I didn't realize, and like you were talking about, you had the experience of going.
Kawasaki, boy, he's been a sparkler all spring. Throws out Gonzalez. The 1-2-3 inning for Felix Hernandez. The other part of this great story today, Jamie Moyer is going to take the mound today, 49 years old. He's made the ball club, and here he comes.
Banner Bank, better ideas, better banking. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting the classic rock and roll of Creedence Clearwater Revisited May 25th. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. Angie Menting here on the mound today. We've got Felix versus former Mariner Jamie Moyer, M's and Rockies in Arizona. Let's get you back down there right now in Dave Sims.
Mariners about to swing the bats here in Peoria against the Rockies. Let's take a look at today's lineup. It's being brought to you by Taco Bell. Sean Figgins back in his comfortable position as a leadoff man. How about Ichiro in the 3-hole? That's been a big development here with the Mariners. Smoke Montero, they've been swinging the bat pretty well. Figueroa and Liddy have been outstanding. Wells still trying to find it. And Muniori Kawasaki has been a very vital ingredient for the Mariners. Speaking of vital, 49-year-old Jamie Moyer coming off a Tommy John surgery, rehab, and look what he's done here in the spring.
Fantastic spring. One of the best outings he had was against San Francisco back on the 22nd of March. 4 innings, 0 hits, 4 strikeouts, and he comes to camp as a let's see what he has type of guy in a feel-good story, making a comeback from Tommy John. Well, he did more than that after sitting out all of the 2011 season. And to go out and earn that number 2 spot for the Colorado Rockies, it wasn't just here you go. He pitched his way onto the roster.
That's what makes it such a great story. And here's the first pitch in there for strike to Sean Figgins. Jamie decidedly old school, still going with the stirrups. I didn't even know they still made them.
One of the few guys that still wears them.
Inside to Figgins.
But that's how coming up. When he did back in the late 80s, early 90s, that's what you had to do. You wore stirrups and sanitary socks.
Good stuff. He stepped out, didn't get time. 2-1. Two-one pitch to Figgins. Popped it up. Catcher Rosario makes the play. Let's take a look at the Snoqualmie Casino defense of the Colorado Rockies. Great coverage in the outfield. Tremendous speed. Gonzalez, Fowler, and Young. Pacheco, Herrera, Nelson, and Colvin in the infield with Rosario behind the dish. Colvin's a guy they're expecting a lot of in terms of hitting, right?
Well, yeah, and he hit 2 bombs yesterday in the game against Cleveland. Dead center field, had 5 RBIs. And he gives the Rockies the luxury, because he has made the ball club as being the 4th outfielder. Or if Todd or Jason Giambi, whoever's not playing first, he can slide over to first base and play.
Ryan asked for it and got time. You know, Jamie Moore, he likes to work quickly.
You like that as an infielder, don't you, Mike? The guys that get the ball, throw it, let's go.
Typically throws a lot of strikes, and when Jamie's pitching well, he's keeping the ball down, so you're going to get a lot of action on the infield. And I know from having spent a few years playing with Jamie, you see the Brendan Ryan having to call timeout. He does that on purpose. He's one of the craftiest guys you're ever going to see, and he tries to get in your head, and he'll do it early in the game. And he'll do that. Can try to quick pitch you, slow things down.
Well hit into the corner. Fair ball for Brendan Ryan. So Ryan, a double against Jamie Moyer, and the Mariners in business here in the first.
Brendan Ryan looks like he gets a cut fastball in the middle of the plate. Jamie didn't quite get it all the way in on his hands. Brendan hits it down the line, draws some chalk. He's needed a couple of days off after the trip to Japan, and it looks like his neck is finally feeling better. So hopefully they can keep him in the lineup on a daily basis. He did get spiked in one of the games in Japan, Dave. I can't remember which one it was, but I don't think there were any ill effects from that.
It was the first game.
Yeah.
And Miggy threw a guy out. He made a great grab on a short hop. Here's Ichiro.
Those hurt. Those are the ones they slide right into your shin.
Whether they cut you or not.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it still hurts.
Ichiro, 382 this spring. Couple of home runs and 8 runs batted in. 1-0 pitch. Fowler had him played perfectly. 2 down. The Mariners going to do something power-wise. A lot of it's going to be generated by this next hitter, Justin Smoke, the first baseman. He's had a nice spring. .419 his batting average with 4 runs batted in. And here Mike and I are talking about this all the time. If he stays healthy, he's got a chance.
Well, and that's the key with a lot of young guys establishing themselves at the big leagues is can they get the 500 to 600 at bats that you need to recognize, well, when I'm not feeling well that day, can I still go out there and throw out a hit?
Ball 1 to Justin. Mariners coming off a 6-4 win against Kansas City yesterday here in Peoria. And the Rockies' 12-10 loss to Cleveland yesterday, and we'll talk more about that. You had a little bit of fireworks yesterday.
Just a little. Something to liven spring training up at the end.
Smoke looking for a big 2-out RBI. 2-0 the count. Smoke 2 for 3 yesterday. Doubled into the left field corner on one of his hits. Eight in that outside corner, 2-1. Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach for the Mariners. He was enthused as well as everybody in the ball club today. About 11-12 today. Franklin Gutierrez took his first batting practice after going on to DL with the pectoral injury. 3-1. What do you think Moyer comes back with here? 3-1 to a power hitter.
Change up? Pretty much write the book with Jamie.
Montero's on deck. 3-1 to Smoke. Well hit, but hooking foul.
He mixed it up. Cut fastball inside.
Ended up getting what he wanted.
Right.
Hard hit foul balls that are pulled to the right-handed hitters, he loves it because here comes your changeup right now. He has first base open. He'll never give in to a hitter. I don't think he tried to really throw that pitch for a strike. He wanted to get a swing on it. If you try to keep it fair, you're probably not going to do anything with it.
Can remember when Jamie was in the booth with us in Seattle mid-season. There was some kind of get together, and he said, "Boys, I'm going to be back." What a story. The Smoke works a walk. Mariners have runners at first and second. 2 outs, and that brings up Jesus Montero.
Well, after he had the Tommy John surgery, they asked him, do you want the conservative approach to get back or just to get your arm right, or do you want the aggressive one? So give me the aggressive one. I want to see what I have, and that way I can at least play catch with my kids. I can do whatever. I can golf knowing that, hey, my elbow is still going to stay intact.
This is an interesting matchup here. Montero's been a guy who's made a reputation hitting the ball the other way. See how he does against the quintessential crafty left-hander.
Has there been much discussion as far as Jamie goes and the workload that they expect from him over the course of the summer?
Not really. They've said go as long as you can. There's his last outing, he threw 89 pitches, so that 100-pitch mark might be the barometer heading into the season.
Chopper down to the shortstop, Herrera. And he'll throw out Montero, and the Mariners are retired in the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a couple of men left. We go to the second, no score here. The Mariners and the Rockies. Sims, Jeff Houston, and Mike Blowers with you. And a little excitement yesterday in the 12-10 loss to Cleveland for the Rockies yesterday. Baldo Jimenez, Huey, walk us through this one.
Well, it was Troy's first at bat, very first pitch from Ubaldo Jimenez, and there had been talk back and forth in the papers back in Denver that Ubaldo said, hey, I did the best I could. Troy was, if you didn't like it here, you should have got out. But first pitch, he hit him right on, square on the elbow. And talking to Troy after the game, he said, like anybody, you get hit, your natural reactions start to go out there. But you saw what Ubaldo did. He immediately threw his glove down. He knew what he was doing. Yep. He went and got after him. And Jim Tracy then in his postgame press conference was a little angry at what Ubaldo had to do, too.
Yes, he was. Here's a pitch down low to Willen Rosario. Jim Tracy said the most gutless act I've seen in 35 years of baseball. That pretty much covers it.
He was fired up, as mad as I've seen Jim Tracy.
Who's one of the nicest guys ever.
But he was fired up after the game, and you look at it, you had a chance where if you hit your starting shortstop, one of the top players in the game, on the elbow, who knows what happens. Fortunately, he is okay. It's a day-to-day thing. The swelling's gone out of it, and he hopes to be able to play either tomorrow or Wednesday before opening day.
Well, I think looking at it, it's one of those things where it's that is one consideration, but you're also so close, Jeff. You're a couple days from starting your season.
Yes.
If it happens earlier in spring training, put some ice on it, but you're right there, and he has his club ready to go. I don't blame him. He has his best player standing up there.
And Troy had broken his wrist being hit by a pitch against the Minnesota Twins last year, the year before, so he missed 30-plus games then. So it is fresh in his memory.
Oh, man.
That I've been hit before, and I've missed a significant amount of time.
2-2 pitch, Rosario hit foul. And the beef started because Jimenez has the nice year in 2009, gets a new contract, a 4-year deal.
Right.
In 2010, and Tulo and Cargo, they get contract extensions.
Going into last year, yes.
Okay.
And so that's what it was all about. But he still had 4 years left on the contract that he had signed.
Well stroked. Down into the corner. Figgins will retrieve. And Rosario with a double to lead off the Colorado second.
Well, and this is one thing that Rosario has done after about his first 10 at-bats during spring training. He has just hit the ball all over the ballpark, to the right, center, left center. And this one, he's able to turn on the breaking pitch and hit it more towards the line in left field. And because of his average and the way he's hit and the power that he's shown this spring and in his improved catching, he has been named the backup catcher for the Rockies heading into this season.
Here's Tyler Colvin. He's at first base today. No Todd Helton. Colvin 8th in the Cactus League in hitting. 403. Here's a guy that came over from Chicago.
For Ian Stewart in a trade over the winter, and it was a case where both guys needed a change of scenery. Tyler Colvin last year had bad numbers for the Cubs, but 2 years ago, 20 home runs and could hit the ball, but he got into the pull mode. Mm-hmm. And when he did that, his average went down. He wasn't able to hit. So you flip-flop Ian Stewart for Tyler Colvin, and you hope that you got the best end of the bargain.
Ooh, off his ankle. That's not good.
Ouch. And there's nothing a manager or trainer can do for you right now.
Just buying some time. Just buying some time.
Wait till the feeling comes back, and even then it might not be until the 7th inning. Plus, they don't have that old cold spray that they used to be able to spray on there.
Which didn't do anything either.
Nope.
Oof.
And some guys don't like hitting with the shin guard or the ankle guard, whatever you want to call it.
I never did until I did exactly that. and missed 3 days, and I was like, that's not going to happen again, so I won't run for the rest of the time that I played. You see that a lot with Felix on the mound. Fastball moves so much. He has tremendous movement on his changeup and his split. You see a lot of guys beating the ball off their legs.
0-2 to Colvin. Rosario at second, leadoff double. Mike, we get a chance to see Montero catch today. He's coming into his Mariner days as a guy coming from the Yankees, highly regarded as a hitter, not so as a catcher.
Well, he has a good test today. The last pitch that you saw was in the dirt. He's going to get a number of those with Felix on the mound. He will spike a lot of change-ups and splits, so he's going to have to keep the ball in front of him. And then, again, with the movement that Felix has on his fastball, for anybody that has ever tried to catch, he can get your thumbs in a hurry. And right now he looks pretty good. He looks comfortable back there.
2-2 to Colvin.
I always find it interesting when you're talking about young players and everybody jumps right out to tell you what they can't do without actually giving them a chance to go out and play and see what it is that he can or can't do. Let him play a little bit before you make up your mind.
2-2 pitch, swung on a miss by Colvin. Strikeout number 2 for Felix Hernandez. One down here in the second.
Well, we weren't sure what we were going to get from Felix. It looks like this is opening day type of stuff that he had against the A's. His off-speed pitches were on point, and that's another one when you have to get ready for 94, 95. And the arm action he has, especially on his changeup, is devastating at times. He had a real good 12-6 curveball, too, going.
Against the Athletics, and you're going to see more of that on Friday. There's a breaking ball to Chris Nelson, strike 1. Nelson hitting .274 in the spring, couple home runs and 10 runs batted in. Runner at seconds, Rosario. Pull foul. What kind of expectations, Jeff, you have with your ball club in the National League West?
Well, it's going to all come down to pitching. It's a pitching-rich division, of course, with San Francisco, what they're able to throw out there, and L.A., and that's what it's going to come down to for Jim Tracy. Is your pitching staff going to be able to keep you in enough ball games? Because the offense is really what is going to carry this club and how it lines up.
Swing and a miss in the dirt. Tag applied. Nelson's gone.
How's the overall health of the club?
Well, knock on wood, it's
good.
It's real good right now, and that's the key because Troy came out okay yesterday. Todd Helt is good, the back, everything, but you're going to limit him to somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 110 games. But then you have a Jason Giambi to be able to back him up over at first base and use him as the DH. So injury-wise, health-wise, before Friday, I think right now it's as good as you could hope for.
Not bad. Jordan Pacheco, third baseman.
Jordan's going to be a jack of all trades. He needs to pack his third baseman's glove, his first baseman, as maybe his outfield, second base, catcher, because he will be the third catcher.
Boy, that's serious versatility. 1-0 pitch. Felix fields his position terrifically. Flips over to Smoke, and that'll do it. So he gives up on Herbless leadoff double. Home second coming up. Wells, Picaro, and Liddy coming up for the Mariners. Play the Rockies next couple of days over at their place. And right now, let's send it down to Jenny Kavnar in the Rockies dugout.
Yeah, guys, it looks like the Rockies have a 25-man roster to take with them to Houston for opening day, and that doesn't include today's starter, Jamie Moyer. That's because he's not expected to get a start till Saturday. That's when he'll be activated, and it gave the Rockies a lot of flexibility with what they could do. That includes an extra man in the bullpen and one on the bench, and as you said earlier in the broadcast, Eric Young Jr. has made this ball club. Jim Tracy told us this morning that Eric's as good as he's seen all spring, and he really laid it on the line for him, his role on this team. He's going to be called upon in a lot of situations, whether it's as a pinch runner, a pinch hitter, to play the outfield. And I think when you talk about versatility, Eric's just one example of several players on this team that can play multiple positions, and it'll be interesting to see how those matchups are utilized as the game goes on. Guys?
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Casper Wells leading off for the Mariners. He's got a 1-1 count.
Well, I think that's the one thing that you need in the National League is versatility. Playing all the different positions, you have the double switches, you're hitting for the pitcher, you need to be able to pinch run a guy and then throw him out into the outfield or maybe move him to second base.
Great quality. Pulled a string on him, 2-2. Jamie Moyer giving up just one hit, a double to Brendan Ryan. That was in the second inning. Casper Wells went 1 for 2 yesterday, walked and struck out a couple of times. Check swing, and Mike goes back to what we talked about yesterday, Casper being in between.
I thought yesterday, after his first at bat, the couple of walks that he had, and then he had a double to right field, and it looked like he was going to be more aggressive on the fastball. And that's a difficult thing to do when you have somebody like Jamie on the mound, because he changes speeds, and he'll change speeds on his fastball. And right there, you're right, it was another check swing. We saw a couple of them from Casper yesterday, but that's been the story for his spring. He's just kind of struggled to just get it all together, and in between pitches just can't quite get on anything.
It's a bad place to be for a hitter.
Here's Carlos Peguero. Works it a strike. This is a guy with a violent swing, and you got Jamie Moyer, I'm sure, is ready to throw various speeds on his changeup here. It's Peguero. Tied for third with Liddy and RBIs on the club. Ouch. So he's aboard. Luckily, it was not a 95-mile-an-hour pitch.
80-mile-an-hour fastball. Peguero trying to stay in there and hits him on the elbow.
Here's Alex Liddy.
80, 95. It still stings.
Oh, it stings.
Alex Liddy stands in. He and Peguero tied third in RBIs behind Montero and Kawasaki on the Mariner Ball Club. Alex out of San Remo, Italy. First big leaguer to come out of the nation of Italy. There's another guy, Jeff. He's been third baseman by trade, but he's played a lot at first base as well.
Just looking at his body, you can project him to be a guy with power, to play a corner position. Looks very athletic.
There he is. Had a couple of scouts in it. They're hoping that he can turn into, be like the Zimmerman kid with Washington.
Well, that's high praise, because
Yeah.
Ryan Zimmerman's one of the best in the game.
0-2 to Liddy. Ball 1-1-2.
He's had a great spring. I think he continues to open eyes with his defense at third base, including myself. I didn't know what to expect from him, and he's really played well over there. And then saw his batting average, .395 for the spring. He's making it tough. He's one of those guys that's on the bubble whether he's going to make the club or not, so he's making things tough for Eric Wedge.
1-2 from Jamie Moyer. Broken bat, foul ball. Kyle Seager helping make that difficult decision. He's swinging the bat really well. He had a home run yesterday, a couple of walks. And he's played first base. First time ever at first base yesterday.
He's a good athlete. That's not going to be a problem for him.
first, he's played second, and he's played third here in the spring. We saw him playing shortstop
last year
in the back third of the season.
Just as long as your name's in the lineup.
Amen.
I don't care where it is. Just put me in there somewhere.
Runner goes. Pitch taken for a ball and a stolen base. Standing up for Carlos Peguero. His third of the spring. 3 out of 5. Count even at 2-2 to Liddy. So in the dirt, full count. I think everybody in baseball, as Kawasaki's on deck, got to be marveling and looking forward to seeing the line on Jamie Moyer. In fact, he's making yet another start here in spring, making your ball club. It is remarkable.
Well,
Can't say enough about it.
A wonderful story, and for everybody that's sitting on their couch in the mid-40s, take note.
Well hit. Right to the shortstop. Caught it cleanly. There's a double play. Nice job by Herrera, and that ball was scorched by Liddy. Nothing across for the Mariners in the second. Jamie Moyer against Felix Hernandez. We got a scoreless battle through 2 here in Peoria.
Flex Pack. You pick from the best dates, opponents, and special events, and we'll provide the savings. Pick up your 6-game Flex Pack now, only on Mariners.com/flex. Hi, everybody. Angie Benting here at the Northwest Ford Sports SNs and Rockies down in Peoria. This is the perfect plan if you just want to get your feet wet with the Mariners 2012 season. Let's get you back down to Peoria.
Little guys and beauty queens here. Our baseball setting in Peoria, Arizona. Rockies and Mariners as we begin the third inning. Felix Hernandez, through the first 2, has struck out 3 batters, giving up just 1 hit. Brendan Harris will lead off. He's the DH today. All 1 to Harris. 281 hitter in the spring. No homers and a couple of runs batted in. Felix pumping in a strike, 1-1. 8-9-1 here for the Rockies. Harris, Herrera, and Young. Tremendous movement by Felix.
I mean, you just watch how the hitters take pitches or swing at pitches. The movement is so late, you're committed, and you hope that, one, they call it a ball, or you can hold check swing.
Montero held it there a little bit long for Jim Wolf. Felix didn't get the call. 3-1.
I think he felt like one of those last 2 pitches. One of them had to be a strike. Yeah.
Yep. Going to walk that one off. Jonathan Herrera on deck. There's strike 3 and 2. Payoff pitch. Got him. Look at that movement. Strikeout number 4. One out here in the third. We check in with Brett Adam with the Mariners.
Well, guys, I heard you talk about the health of the Rockies heading into the season. I guess they're in better shape than the Mariners are right now as they restart their season again Friday against the Oakland A's. 2 outfielders start the year, I guess, restarted on the DL. Also, several players caught a bug on the way back from Japan, trying to recover and feel better themselves. Dustin Ackley, Michael Saunders not in the lineup for the second straight game. They're still under the weather a little bit. Also, pitchers George Sherrill and Hector Noesi's not here today, sent home just to try to recover and get better and hopefully get 100% by Friday night against the A's. Also talked to a couple of players and a coach as well, and saying that today's kind of the first day they feel kind of normal. The legs back under them, adjusted to the time change. You know, they were waking up at 3 and 4 in the morning the last couple of nights, but they thought that this time today they really start feeling normal, which of course is what they want and what they hope for, again, as they restart the season with Game 3 on Friday.
All right, Brett, thank you very much. A lot of guys under the weather, to be sure. Also, ad man Steve Canetta, he's been laid low. And Steve, I know you're watching. Part of the team that produces the great Mariner commercials each season. It's in the hospital recovering from surgery. And we send our get well wishes to Steve Canetta. Ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. That's 5 Ks for Felix. We're in the third.
I think everybody was wondering if Felix was going to be into pitching this game today. I think he's answered that question. He seems to be on top of it. Doesn't look like he wants to mess around at all. Again, the movement on that last pitch, running it back on the inside corner, just locking the left-handed hitter up.
Hip side fastballs.
Yes.
You see him out of the hand as a ball inside, taking it the whole way, and then it darts and catches that inside corner, and all you can do is drag the bat back to the dugout. Tip your cap.
Yeah, and he started doing that a lot more in the second half of the year last year. And he's done it all spring training. He was definitely doing it against the A's on the opening day in Japan. Same type of pitch.
That's all he needs is another pitch.
Well, yeah, and you know, but it's one of those things. I think that running fastball back on the inside corner, Greg Maddux used to do that all the time to the left-handed hitters, and you have to have so much confidence to pitch in there, because what you don't want to do is leave that pitch out over the plate.
Boy, look at that 12-6 curveball to Eric Young Jr. Ball and 2 strikes.
He's not lacking in the confidence as far as pitching inside, I can tell you that. Take a look at this last pitch. Can you see the 12-6 curveball? Just not much you can do as a hitter. It looks like it's belt high, and next thing you know, it's on the ground.
1-2. Up high.
Well, the other deceiving thing for Felix is the hip turn, where he hides the baseball, throws the high leg up, and for a hitter standpoint, where's that release point coming from? By that time, it's too late.
Swing and a miss. Montero's going to throw down the smoke. Throws high. And a hustling Eric Young is retired as Felix strikes out the side. Gives him 6 through 3 innings. No score here in Peoria.
Don't miss Seattle round out their spring training campaign against the Colorado Rockies. Mariners Cactus League Baseball, Tomorrow at 1 on Root Sports.
Root Sports is bringing you one more spring training game this preseason. Tune in with the Mariners and Rockies matchup again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Watch your team as they prepare for the 2012 season on Root Sports. Beautiful day here in Peoria, Arizona, as the Mariners wrap up their spring home season. Muniori Kawasaki, third in the Cactus League in hitting, a .417 batting average. It's his first look at Jamie Moyer. Strike one. One on one to Kawasaki. It'll be Kawasaki, Figgins, and Ryan 9-1-2 here for the Mariners. 1-2. Wonder what's going through Kawasaki's mind. I've read about this guy. Now here he is. It's the first time I'm seeing him. Kawasaki's keeping the at-bat alive.
I'm sure he's thinking, he can't possibly throw any slower.
Mooney went 3 for 5 yesterday with an RBI. Slaps it down the line. That will stay fair. Kawasaki out of the box hard. And he's got a leadoff double for the Mariners here in the third.
Kawasaki, Dave mentioned 3 hits yesterday. 2 of them, similar to this one, just serves the ball out into left field on a slow breaking ball. I think that's one of his strengths, is he will put the ball in play. He won't try to do too much with it. He knows his job is to get on base when he gets an opportunity to play. Going to be the utility infielder playing up the middle.
It looked similar to Ichiro's swing.
Oh, hey, that's his guy.
Yeah.
That's his hero.
I mean, you could just see that in that swing going the other way.
Higgins fouls off the bunt. Yeah, that was the book on him with Kawasaki coming over. He wanted to play in the major leagues, but only for the Mariners because Ichiro is here, and that's his guy.
Well, it's a pretty good guy to pattern yourself after.
Hey, 10 consecutive years, 200 hits.
Then goes out on opening day, 4 knocks.
We were talking about that earlier. Big difference is Figgins, wow, twice has failed to get the bunt down. Ichiro in the first game, 2 of the 4 hits were infield hits, and Mike and I were talking about during in that opening. What was it, 58, 59 infield hits last?
38 last year,
61-ish the year before, and that was one of the reasons why he hit in the 270s last year. Yeah, the difference was, he's cut in half.
I just remember that last base hit he got right over the head of the lefty Blevins. Almost took his noggin off.
Yeah. Figgins 0-2 here, trying to get Kawasaki to third. Figgins popped out to the catcher, fouled out to the catcher. His first at bat. Strike 3 called. Jamie Moyer with his first strikeout of the day.
He locked Figgins up after 2 foul ball attempts. Exactly where Rosario wanted the baseball and held it with the stiff wrist to allow Jim Wolf to see that pitch the whole way. Those are bats that drive managers nuts. You got a leadoff double and you don't advance the runner to third.
Fouled off a couple of bunt attempts. Jamie certainly knows that Figgins is probably trying to hit it to the right side. So what does he do when he gets him 0-2? He comes inside with a little cutter. If he's going to do anything with it, he's going to have to pull it.
Ryan doubled into the left field corner his first time up. 1-1. Ryan had a great year with the glove last year. And look at some of the sabermetrics. They have been the best shortstop in the game. Short pop up here. Second baseman Nelson takes care of it. Let's see if Ichiro can pick up that run. Mariners get a leadoff double, then a strikeout looking and a pop-up. Ichiro flied to center his first time up.
That has to be an interesting conversation going on. You have the young catcher in Rosario with Jamie out there. I don't know if Rosario made a suggestion, but Jamie clearly was going to let him know what he wanted to do here.
Well, there's only roughly about 27 years difference in age.
I like Jamie showing up. Jamie's showing up, showing the gray beard there. Yeah. Way to go, big fella. Proudly showing the colors. Ichiro going to try to pick up a run. Looks at a pitch in there for strike one.
Hey, Rockies fans, if you still need opening day tickets, the only way to get them is by purchasing the 2012 Rockies season tickets or 15 to 25 game mini plans. Call 303-ROCKIES or visit ColoradoRockies.com for more information.
1-1 to Ichiro backs him off. 2-1. Well, there's a lot of baseball knowledge here between this guy and Jamie Moyer. 2-1. Up high. 3-1. On deck, Justin Smoke. Big pitch at 3-1. Slapped into the gap. That'll get the job done. Ichiro. High gear, digging for second. He'll get there. An RBI double, and the Mariners take a 1-0 lead here in the third with 2 outs. Big knock for Ichiro. That's his 9th RBI of the spring.
Looked like Jamie dropped down a little bit, trying to keep the ball away from Ichiro. Always has that body moving, but his hands stay back and is able to flip this ball out into right center field.
That's a point that people always talk about Ichiro. Well, he's leaning, he's on his front side. He's not. His body might be somewhat that area, but notice where his hands always are.
And his head.
Yeah, the head doesn't move, and the hands are back.
Gives himself a chance to put it in play. You go back and on that replay, you can see the pitch. The location of that pitch was actually a pretty good pitch. Probably ends up down out of the zone.
1-1 to Smoke.
Well, most guys would either ground out or just an easy fly ball to the outfield with the location, because it was where Jamie wanted to put the pitch.
1-1 to Smoke. Old foul. Jamie's got to be just a baseball card come to life for Smoke.
All the list of where Jamie is in his career as wins, innings pitched, games, they're just staggering.
Outside 2-2.
I saw one on Jamie, I believe it was 2 or 3 days ago. 20 years ago, he had been released for the first time.
Right.
Back in 1992.
Jamie's back, Andy Pettit's back. Halliday, Hudson, and Sabathia. That's a good list. Popped up. Second baseman Nelson. He's there. But a good inning for the Mariners in the third. A 2-out double by Ichiro makes it 1-0 Seattle.
We are your local
for our Banner Bank Building to the Future. Mariners young infielder Kyle Seager has been raking this spring. His 4 home runs tie him for the team lead. He's hit .357 and has a team-leading 15 hits. Kyle Seager has earned a spot on this roster. Every day he's showing he belongs in the majors. Kyle Seager is our Banner Bank Building to the Future player. All right, let's get you back down to Dave Sims down in Peoria.
Mariners have given Felix Hernandez a 1-0 lead. Felix threw 3 innings, 6 strikeouts. Ichiro coming through with a 2-out double in the third to give the Mariners first run of the ball game. Going to be fans. Was it the lady with the itchy meter? I don't know if she's back. We'll see her in Seattle. But they're taking her place right here in Peoria. And the sun, Ichiro checking out that sun. Could be a problem. Fowler lays down a bunt. It's a beauty. Liddy almost got him. Nice play. Really good bunt by Dexter Fowler for the base hit.
Well, and that's something that he's worked hard on this spring, because it has not been a strong suit for Dexter Fowler with his speed to be able to lay down the bunt. The key is where he catches that ball at the end of the bat, in the cupped area of the bat. It deadens it naturally to allow the ball to just stop almost. But Liddy, how about that throw? You talked about it earlier, Mike, in his defense over at third base, and he might have gotten Dexter by a blink of an eye, but that was an amazing play.
Well, when Fowler put the ball down, I thought Alex was going to have to put it in his pocket, not even have a play. And when you have to come that deep in towards home plate, for one thing to get a throw off, but two, to make an accurate throw. So many times they'll throw it up the line because you have to throw so far across your body. And for a big man, Alex Lee, we were talking about it earlier with his defense, he's really impressed with his play at third.
And I like how Felix got out of the way and Montero got out of the way. We didn't have any collisions or anything. Fowler back safely. So with Montero, a lefty hitter up. The Rockies, what they do here. Gonzalez, 1 homer on the spring. Swing and a miss.
Typically, Dexter's not going to try to steal a base with Carlos Gonzalez at the plate, because he can make it a 2-point swing rather quickly. But it's spring training, and Dexter needs to work on trying to steal bases.
1-1. Way outside. Gonzalez, 295 last year, 26 homers, and 92 runs batted in. Those are great numbers, but it was a fall-off from 2010. He went 336, 34, and 117.
Yeah, he missed a lot of time last year with a wrist. He ran into the wall a couple different times, but even when he came back, it wasn't healthy. So he had to take 2 months after the season to get that wrist right.
Tell you what, those 2010 numbers.
Those were video game numbers, what he was able to do.
And the numbers for him the last 3 years. On base percentage, 376.
And those 34 home runs, and I can't remember a cheap one out of them. The wall scrapers. Everything, it seemed, was 10, 12, 20 rows deep. It's hard to believe that Carlos Gonzalez has actually been traded 2 different times.
No, that is remarkable. Cup of coffee with Oakland in 08. Chance for 2. Kawasaki, Ryan. Over to Smoke. Safe at first as Gonzalez hustling down the line.
Take a look at Kawasaki at second base. Looks like a tailor-made double play ball. Fowler on top of Brendan Ryan. He was just going to make sure he gets out of the way. Probably a good idea this late in the spring. I think during the season, Brendan probably gets rid of it a little bit quicker and maybe takes a little bit of that slide from Fowler.
4-6 fielder's choice. Willen Rosario, the catcher, he doubled to left. Felix with 6 strikeouts. Not walked anybody. I have unofficially won 3-ball count. One 1-0 to Rosario. So Iwakuma, we'll get a chance to see him. Sashi Iwakuma. Probably be in a 25-man roster in the bullpen for the Mariners. There's a strike. 3 players have to be cut on Wednesday. One out, one on. That's a balk. Called a balk on Felix. That'll get Gonzalez down to second. Take a look.
See if Felix stops.
That was a quick and immediate call.
To me, he paused long enough.
I thought so too.
So the count at 1-1.
You know, it was interesting for me on that as Felix is getting set. His glove moves a couple of times before he gets down to where he normally has it. But it's such a small movement, and with his back to the umpire, how can he even see that?
Right.
Two balls, one strike. Liddy handles it, holds the runner, and throws out Rosario for out number 2. We'll bring up Tyler Colvin, who struck out in a 2-2 pitch, first time up. So it's all about pitching in the NL West. With Kershaw with the Dodgers, they need some help there, backing him up. The Giants, they're looking good, obviously, with Lincecum and Kane. Arizona can throw some pitchers at you.
They can, and they made a couple trades in the offseason to even solidify that rotation even more.
Breaking ball, a strike to Colvin.
Yeah, Trevor Cahill for Arizona has not had a good spring. One of the guys that they got from Oakland, but he's got a good arm. He and Kennedy. So the hardest part for Arizona, at least in my estimation, is last year it was unexpected. This year is expected. Those expectations are hard for players to overcome at times.
There's the 0-1 to Colvin. Breaking ball misses. Yeah, they did come out of nowhere. Last year, this time, that was the furthest thing from your mind.
Well, we share the same complex over at Salt River, and so we watch them and see them in enough games that you're thinking, okay, they've got some talent. They're major league players, but what Kirk Gibson has done, changing that culture in that clubhouse, was the whole key for me. And then they just carried it forward into the season and got on one of those rolls where they had 47 or 48 come from behind victories. Mm-hmm. Is that going to happen this year? That's the question.
There's a look at last year's standings in the NL West.
And just ran away with it.
Oh, and hid. Meanwhile, over here in the American League West, Angels fortify themselves with number 5. Let's see, the Rangers. Yeah, they
also pick up C.J. Wilson.
C.J. Wilson's a good one.
Everybody wants to talk about Albert, and I understand that, but C.J. Wilson
to go along with Irvin Santana,
Weaver.
That's good looking rotation. Chopper that Ryan will get on. Boy, hustling Colvin down the line. Felix has a balk. It doesn't hurt him in the 4th. 1-0 Mariners here in the Valley of the Sun. Mariners opening day from Oakland is just days away. Make sure you're with us this Friday as Seattle kicks off a weekend series with the Athletics. Live coverage gets underway at 6:30 right here on Root Sports. Mariners home fourth, Montero, Wells, and Peguero. 1-0 against former Mariner Jamie Moyer on a Ichiro 2-out double in the third. A run on 3 hits given up by Mr. Moyer. 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Back off the glove of Herrera. Montera's aboard. So an E6 starts out the Mariners' fourth.
Well, Jonathan is a sure-handed fielder, but with Pacheco as a third baseman, still learning that position. Once you take 3 or 4 steps and realize you can't get to the ball, try to stop so you don't block the path of the shortstop. And I'm not putting it all on Jordan Pacheco, but Jonathan Herrera, you see that third baseman out of the corner of your eye, and it distracts you momentarily because that wasn't a hard hop to try to catch.
Casper Wells tapped back to the pitchers first time up. Wells in center field. Michael Saunders under the weather last couple of days. So more at bats for Casper Wells. Strike 1.
I'd like to see him get a couple of aggressive swings off in this at bat. Even if you're wrong, sometimes just turning it loose makes a difference.
There's 1. Oh, 2 strikes. .58 pitches for Jamie Moyer. We're in the fourth. And he's topped out at 80 miles per hour. Strike 3 called. 2 strikeouts, both looking. You got Figgins in the third and now Wells here in the fourth.
Well, Jamie Moyer again showing the cut fastball underneath the hands of Casper Wells. With a guy that's indecisive right now. He's not on the fastball, not on the curveball, the changeup, whatever else. Those pitches catch the inside corner, but they look like they're 6 to 8 inches off the plate. You're just not picking up the ball.
Jamie's fastball topping at 80. Felix's curveball at 80. Knee buckler to Peguero.
Well, he hit him with the fastball last time. I'll throw him that ball that looks like it's a fastball at his elbow again.
Been around as long as he has. There's not a trick that he doesn't know. 0-2.
Well, if you were to look in Webster's dictionary for thinking man's pitcher, you would see a picture of Jamie Moyer.
Fans in Colorado got to be loving this, huh?
Well, they do, because it's. We talked about it in our open. It's not a case where, he made it just because he's 49 and he's Jamie Moyer. He made it because he pitched well enough to make the team. And nobody really knew what he was going to do, except for the people in Seattle with those numbers, 145 wins. But a guy that's coming off of Tommy John surgery.
What's he, about 13? Was he 13 months out?
13 months.
0-2 to Peguero. Up, down, in, out. Change speeds. Peguero would love to go launch pad here. And he swings and it's caught by Rosario. Back-to-back strikeouts. 3 relive some of the years that Jamie Moyer had in Seattle. Mike, and you were there for a lot of them.
Yeah, I also played on one of the best teams, the 2001 club, and Jamie at the front of that rotation. And we were talking about topping out at 80. Well, it wasn't much different back then before he had the surgery, but he still was getting it done. Knows how to pitch, keep the ball on the ground, keep the guys involved. He works fast. Take a look, 64 pitches total, 39 of them for strikes.
Alex Liddy. It's strike one.
I was thinking earlier when you're talking about Rosario, the young catcher that's going to be the backup. And as a backup, of course, he's going to get a lot of time on the bench to watch. And he's going to hear more about pitching this year from Jamie Moyer than he's ever thought of.
Well, and another guy along those same lines, Mike, is Drew Pomerantz, who will be the fifth starter for the Rockies. That they lockered Drew Pomerantz right next to Jamie Moyer. And Drew's left-handed, a young stud, throws harder, 92 to 95 miles an hour. But for have a Rosario or a Drew Pomerantz to have a mentor like Jamie Moyer to teach him about pitching, bat speeds, changing speeds.
Here's Liddy with a base hit to left. Coming with 2 outs as Montero moves up to second. It's the hustle back. Gonzalez throwing behind Montero. So Alex Liddy's spring, which has been outstanding, and continues.
And he has been aggressive, gets a pitch down, but he stays with it. Hits it hard over in the hole on the left side. Having a great spring, hitting almost 400 coming into the game.
About that, his 16th hit. 16 for 40 for Alex Liddy.
We're talking about that with Jamie and what he's going to bring to the club, not just when he's on the mound, but in between his starts and doing that. Mariners have a similar situation with Kevin Millwood.
Right.
They have Noese and Bevan, 2 young starters in their rotation, and they have Millwood, who's also going to be in the rotation, and the same type of situation where he's been around for a long time.
Yeah, Millwood was with the Rockies at the end of last year,
right,
and we saw that in the clubhouse, that same sort of veteran presence that's been around the block. He played with the Maddoxes and the Glavins and the Smoltz, and you learn from them, and you teach the game to the younger players as long as they're willing to listen. And why wouldn't you?
I like that last part of your sentence, that clause, if they're willing to listen, because sometimes you get some guys that sort of like, yeah, okay, old man.
I got it all. I know it all. But when you have a Kevin Millwood on your staff, as the Mariners do, to help the young players' progression, the pitching staff.
And Blake Bevan sitting right next to him.
And it doesn't matter whether you're right-handed or left-handed. It's all about deception, your mind games you play with the hitters. How are you going to get a guy out?
Off the fist foul back.
Well, I think it's interesting with Kevin Millwood, too, because you mentioned his time when he was with the Braves and a young pitcher. He was a power pitcher.
Yes.
He was a guy that relied on 95 miles an hour and basically throwing it by people. But he's had the longevity of his career because at some point that fastball left him and he had to learn to pitch. And that's the reason why he's still able to pitch at the big league level. And there's a lot of knowledge that goes into that. And again, Blake Bevan sitting right next to him, somebody that's a young pitcher. In the Mariners rotation that can learn a lot from him.
And some could argue that Millwood was one of the best pitchers the Rockies had the last 2 months of the season last year.
Now they got change of speeds beautifully. I mean, he tops now about 87, 88?
Might hit 90 occasionally, but he doesn't pitch there. That's the key. He can hit it once or twice.
If he wants to pop one in there every now and then, he can do it.
Kawasaki 0-2, 2 outs, 2-1 for the Mariners, who lead 1-0. Ichiro drove in the only run, a 2-out double in the third. Now Rosario going out to confab again with Jamie Moyer.
And this just helps Rosario's learning curve. Because he's thinking, well, last year I played in Double A, I had a cup of coffee at the end of the year, I can flash this sign. But Jamie's been around the block more than once, 5 or 6 times.
You could see when Rosario came out, Jamie's doing it. Come into my laboratory, kid. Come here, I got something for you. You want to pass this test or what?
Uh-huh.
Montero at second, Liddy at first. One and 2 to Kawasaki. Sean Fagan's on deck.
Now does he go back to the breaking pitch away from him that he was able to slap to left field last time?
pulls it, finds a hole, base hit. Montero getting a big wave on around third. The throw to third is not in time. Montero scores, and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead on the RBI by Muneyori Kawasaki, his second hit today. How about Mooney? That's his 12th RBI.
He's had a good spring, and we talked about it. 3 hits for him yesterday. Now 2 for 2 today. And drives in a run with that base hit. Jamie trying to go inside, back-to-back pitches on him. And he's able to pull the ball through the right side.
Sean Figgins has not had a couple of good at-bats. Maybe he can redeem himself right here with a run at third, 2 outs. First and third here situation for the Mariners. Figgins trying to bunt, fouled out to the catcher and struck out looking in his second at bat. Outside, ball 1. 6th hitter in the inning for the Mariners. Jim Tracy got Bob Apodaca on the left, right? Pitching coach.
Richie Dower was down there.
Look out. Remember Rich Dower from his days with the Orioles.
Now, Richie's going to be inducted into the Baltimore Orioles Hall of Fame. Richie, the one without his hat on.
Jerry Weinstein there.
Tommy Reynolds just to Richie's left. Bench coach. Yeah, Richie Dower, Hall of Fame for the Baltimore Orioles induction in August.
Figgins gets into one, base hit. That'll score Lenny. Mariners lead at 3-0. Good at bat for Sean Figgins. Boy, he needed that one too. Picks up an RBI, his second of the spring.
And Sean gets a off-speed pitch. It's down, but it's in the middle of the plate. Take a look at him again. Stays back long enough and hits a solid line drive into left field.
Remember, these last 3 hits for the Mariners have all been with 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bob Apodaca out now to talk to Jamie.
Without looking, I'm going to guess that Apodaca was an active pitcher. His career parallels Jamie, right?
Maybe a few years.
Not much of
not much, though.
Yeah, I remember Bob when he was a right-hander with the Met organization. Brendan Ryan 1 for 2, double to left. 2 on, 2 outs. 2 runs in for the Mariners. Strike 1.
Recently engaged Brendan Ryan.
Over in Japan.
Yeah, I read that story.
Was that something? Folks at MLB helped him out a lot.
I'd be afraid I would lose the ring in the
yeah,
the flight over
I'm
somewhere along the line.
I'm hearing you. 1-1. Solidly stroked left field. Here comes Kawasaki. He's going to score. Figgins motoring to third. He is out. They got him. The run does score as Brendan Ryan picks up an RBI, his 4th, but a big inning for the Mariners here in the 4th, as the Mariners put up 3 and have a 4-0 lead.
fourth inning and lead it 4-0. Angie Mentink here, and opening weekend begins on Friday, April 13th, when we roll out the red carpet and welcome baseball back to the Pacific Northwest. Be on hand for the home opener when we also welcome back a favorite former Mariner, Mike Cameron, to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Make plans to be there for the fanfare on opening day weekend at Safeco Field, where you can get your tickets at Mariners.com. It's only one opening day. Back down to Arizona.
Felix's day done. Tipping his cap, acknowledging the cheers as he walks back to the clubhouse. Good afternoon here for the King Felix.
57 pitches, 4 innings pitched. Figured that's what it was going to be. Again, just getting some work in between his 2 regular starts and 6 strikeouts. I was impressed with the way that he went about his business today. Again, it's been difficult for all the guys over the last few days, but for Felix to go out there and really get after it the way they did, I think speaks a lot about where this young man has come in his career. And a spring training game, I don't think anybody would have blamed him if he just thrown his glove out there today.
But that has to make Eric Wedge extremely happy when your horse comes back after pitching in Japan and leads by example and says, here, guys, this is how you do it. This is how you prepare.
Agreed, and that's something that Eric has been talking about. Again, speaking to him this morning, he thinks that he's hoping over the next couple of days the guys will get back into it. Well, when you have your best player out there, your superstar, and that's the way he goes about his business, is pretty much a signal to everybody else to get it going.
We'll see what Hisashi Iwakuma can do today against these Colorado Rockies. He'll face 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Here in the 5th, Chris Nelson, Jordan Pacheco, and Brendan Harris. All scheduled. 3 runs for the Mariners in the 4th, none earned. Remember that E6. First pitch from the Bear, Kuma. Ball 1. Chris Nelson today, he struck out in his only at bat. Tuno. Iwakuma back with a strike. Pacific League MVP back in 2008. He went 21-4 with a 1.87 ERA and 28 starts. Ran that pitch in on his fist.
Looks like he'll probably be the long guy out of the bullpen, huh, Dave?
Yeah, that's at the current. That is the plan right now. And bullpen didn't fare well in game number 2 in Japan. This one skied to center. Wells fighting that sun, makes the catch. I'll bring up Jordan Pacheco, third baseman. 0 for 1. Couldn't ask for a better setting here today as the Mariners wrap up the home portion of their spring schedule. Next 2 days will be over playing the Rockies. Talking stick. Iwakuma at 91 miles an hour here. One of 107 games over in Japan. Two 2-0. Iwakuma signed as a free agent in early January. But largely, it's been a starter for the bulk of his career. 3-0.
Brendan Harris on deck.
He wasn't sharp on that one. 4-pitch walk brings up Harris.
Hey, Rocky Mountain viewers, join Root Sports and 850 KOA as we head over to the Blake Street Tavern in Denver this Friday. That's opening day. At 3 o'clock to watch the Rockies take on the Astros. You'll have a chance to win great prizes. Meet our own sideline reporter from Root Sports. That would be Mark Stout. And watch the Rockies kick off their 2012 season. Remember, don't miss the fun this Friday starting at 3 p.m. at the Blake Street Tavern.
Brendan Harris, the hitter. So you got Rockies fever, you got Manning and Bronco fever in Denver, right?
And I still think there's some Tebow fever that's left over that hasn't gone away.
That must have been some ride, huh?
It was.
Harris struck out on a 3-2 pitch leading off the third.
Brendan came into camp vying for a utility spot. He did everything he needed to do. Hit just shy of 300 for the spring. Played numerous positions, third base, shortstop. Just got beat out.
Runner goes. Throw by Montero into center field. Pacheco to third. Stolen base for Pacheco's first of the year, and an error on Montero.
It looked like Montero had time to actually throw him out if it gets there in time, but it bounces, throws a little bit of a sinker down to second base. His feet, it looked like he wasn't able to square up his shoulder and make a strong throw. It's one of the things that I think we've seen a lot of improvement with Olivo, who has always had the strong arm, but he has been great with his footwork this spring.
He has thrown some seeds down to second base in his first few games. First 2 games over in Japan, and then some of the games here in Arizona. 1-2. The count to Brendan Harris.
You talk about young players, it's always those little things, that repetition and being at the major league level, and guys constantly working on with Montero some of those things that he does behind the plate. Probably able to get away with it in the minor leagues because he was coming up as a hitter. But when you get to this level, they'll iron that out for him and get him to where he consistently gets his feet right. Sometimes the pitch will dictate where your feet end up, but they'll iron that out for him.
Breaking ball hit down to Liddy on the backhand. Nicely done. Throws across. Run scores, but Liddy throws out Harris.
And that's not an easy play. In between hop, Mike, you played third base. I played over there. You go towards that line, you're hoping, can I get a short hop? No, please go in my glove.
But I'll say this for him. When you play over there on a hop like that, when you're indecisive is when it's going to eat you up. And he broke right away. He decided right away, I'm going to come in and get this ball. And although it was a tough hop, I think because he was able to make that decision and stick with it, you end up smothering the ball a little bit more. It's when you have that little bit of indecision on what you're going to do is when it'll eat you up. And that's something that we've seen from him over there. We talked about his defense earlier. He made a fine play on a barrier to play with a bunt. Fowler able to beat it out. But, again, that's a tough play to make. And he makes it look easy.
He made a couple of those late last year. Slapped on the ground. Smoke will take it. And that will do it for the Rockies. They do pick up a run. No hits. 1 error and nobody left. It's 4-1 Mariners. stop. Just make sure you're able to retrace your steps to get back to base.
Take some water.
Yeah. John Miller at the Giants was telling stories about guys going up there getting lost, not being able to get back. Some good hiking out here. Great run scoring by the Mariners. 2 out base hits. They got 3 unearned runs in the 4th against Jamie Moyer. That'll be Ichiro, Smoke, and Montero. 3-4-5 here in the 5th inning. Ichiro with a big 3rd inning. 2 out double to get the Mariners on the board. There's a strike from Jamie Moyer, 2-1.
I still marvel every time I see Ichiro and people think of him as a slap hitter, how many home runs he could hit if he wanted to be a home run hitter. His average would go down. But just watching him swing during batting practice sometime.
Oh, launch pad.
I said it would, for me, I'm sure you had the opportunity too, but I was liking it to going back and watching Wade Boggs.
Yes.
You always hit for high average, hit the ball to left field all the time, but you watch him take batting practice, and it's just one after the other that he can hit out of the ballpark.
Great comparison.
I think that it's for those hitters, though, it's difficult to turn it on like that. They have such a mindset of how they're going to go about their business and how they're going to hit. Oh.
Ooh, he said he went.
Wow.
Wow. Woof. Boy, it looks getting killed. Let's take another look.
Well, maybe if it wasn't spring training, this might be a different call because that barrel did not look like it crossed the plane of the plate. His hands did, but not the barrel.
Jamie will take it. It's his 4th strikeout. And brings up Smoke. He's walked and popped to second. Strike 1. Make a good point about this guy's tough to turn it on.
I just think he spent a career hitting one way, and now you're asking him to do something different. I think they get out of their comfort zone, and it's a lot different hitting balls out of the ballpark in batting practice than trying to turn it on and do the same thing during the game. And then when you look at his career and what he's done throughout his career, to all of it ask him to do something completely opposite of that, I think is a bit much. And I'm not sure that he would one, want to do it, or 2, be able to.
Eric Wedge was very interesting in talking to him about it. He says, hey, he's his own hitter. He's going to get something done in the 3-hole. He's going to put it in play. He's going to try to put it in play hard. This one hit the center field for Fowler. Glasses on. Wow, the wind is really something here in Peoria today. Blowing hard to right.
And the sun angle where it's positioned now.
I got it. Oh, my goodness.
He wasn't trying to catch it like Willie Mays on purpose. He did not see that ball. The ball didn't come out of the sun until 10, 15 feet outside of where his glove was.
Remember the first time I saw Willie Mays, my father said, watch how he catches the ball. Don't you do this. Yeah, he got it. Basket catch. It was amazing. Everything.
Did you ever see him drop one?
Nope.
Didn't think so.
Line drive off the glove of the shortstop Herrera by Montero. And Jesus, his first base hit today, 1 for 3.
Jonathan need to be an inch taller or have a glove that was an inch longer. Off the top of his glove. Still got up off the ground.
Tulo's got that, doesn't even have to jump.
No, he just stands there, hits him about chest high.
Here's Casper Wells. I always enjoyed watching Tulowitzki play. Saw Heath Weaver and Vargas in the Super Regional years ago. Boy, he brings fire to every game, doesn't he?
Passion and energy. Ever since he has become a Colorado Rocky, he has a passion of, I haven't lost and I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch him go out there and compete every single day. We have the pleasure of calling all the games, and it's just to see him I didn't realize, because he's such a big guy, people always compared him to Cal Ripken, but he is more athletic than Cal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I played with Cal. Cal positioning was off the charts, that he knew where to position himself. Troy is learning on that whole process, but his athleticism, going to his left or to his right for a big guy.
0-2 pitch. I still say he looks like Bob Huggins, West Virginia basketball coach. It looks like his little brother. And Hugs is one of my favorite guys, so I mean that as a high compliment. Popped up. Might be playable. Colvin out of room. Jamie Moyer giving up 4 runs on 8 hits, only 1 run earned.
The air to lead off that inning. Edgmer Escalona, who was competing for a bullpen spot, is up and tossing.
1-2 to Wells. Casper Wells checks in with a base hit. Mariners with 2 outs. Trying to build something again here. Wells with his first hit of the day. 1 for 3.
96 pitches, 62 strikes. Building on his last outing, he threw 89 pitches in just 4 innings. I would imagine that depending on how the rest of this inning plays out, this will be it for Jamie. He'll take it to the house, get his run in and ice, and prepare for next Saturday down in Houston.
It's going to be something. Here's Peguero, hit by a pitch and a strikeout. I wonder what's going through his mind. He's been hit on the elbow, struck out on a 1-2 pitch in his first time against Jamie Moyer. Been there and done that. Breaking ball, hit, foul.
Nice play by the ball boy. 2-hopper, glove out in front.
Well done, son.
Just another routine day at the yard.
Pretty good seat.
So what'd you do on Monday? Well, I just watched the ball game, got a foul ball.
That's going to beat just about everybody in this class. 1-1 the count to Peguero. Mike Karp recovering from the sprained shoulder, diving for ball game in Japan against the A's. 15-day DL. Feeling a little bit better here today. It's coming along. Peguero activated. An opportunity for him. 2-2.
Well, as part of the expanded roster, teams were able to use going over to Japan.
And I was happy to hear this morning, I confirmed it with Eric Wedge, but his DL time is still clicking away as we sit here today also. So, because I was wondering, with the 2 games and then you have this break, do they have to wait through the break and then pick it up again when the season starts again? But he's actually getting credit for that time as we sit here today. I agree. I just wanted to make sure that was the case, and it is.
Ooh, got him in the small of the back. So Peguero hit by a pitch. That'll load him up.
Breaking ball, a slow breaking ball.
So what an opportunity here for Alex Liddy. Came up with a base hit in the 4th inning with 2 outs. And they're loaded up. The wily Sage, crafty left-hander against the young novice.
What? Can we throw any other adjectives in there? All of them were right.
Yeah. My newspaper day's coming back to me.
But he's 49. It's still.
That's still pretty young for me, pal.
Right.
That's what Mr. Moyer, tip of the cap.
You know, I'm 49. I played with Jamie 3 times, and I've been retired for 11 years.
Jeez.
I'm right with you. I'm right with you.
I'm feeling not so good about myself right now.
Yeah, Jamie's a good guy. Didn't grow up too far from each other. He's from the greater Philadelphia area. 0-2. Liddy fouls it off. Played with him, what, 3 times?
3 times,
Cubs?
yeah. Actually, Texas, Baltimore, and then briefly when I was with the Mariners back in '98. Played with them for half a year before I got released.
Last of the class still out there, huh? By a lot.
Yeah.
0-2 to Liddy with the bases loaded. Mariners up 4-1. 2 outs here in the 5th. Felix Hernandez went through 4 strong innings, 2 hit balls, 6 strikeouts. Inside to Liddy. See what he comes back with here. Boy, pulled a string on him. Ball and 2 strikes.
I was thinking as Alex was coming to the plate. Jamie is somebody sitting out there, even though it's a spring training game, he knows the anxiety and the anxiousness of a young hitter trying to impress, has the bases loaded, and he hasn't thrown him anything in the middle of the plate yet, and I doubt that he will. Alex just going to have to take whatever Jamie's going to give him.
Up high. 2-2. I don't care who you are. If you're 35 and older, you got to be loving watching Jamie Moyer pitch here at age 49. 2-2. Liddy hanging in there. Inning started with a strikeout of Vichero. Fly ball to center for Smoke. Base hit Montero to left. Wells with his first hit. That went to left. Peguero hit on a 2-2 pitch. That loaded him up. And now here's Liddy. 2-2. Strike 3 call. How about Jamie Moyer getting out of it like that? Wow. Jamie Moyer with a paint job gets out of a bases loaded situation. 4-1 Mariners.
won't shake your head at, but it's bound to shake its head back at you. Friday, April 20th is Ichiro bobblehead night, and it's free to the first 20,000 fans thanks to Root Sports. To check out this year's collectible Ichiro bobblehead, visit mariners.com/promotions. Former Mariner Jamie Moyer gets out of trouble in the 5th, but is still on the line for the loss. We go back down to Arizona now.
Look at this day here in Peoria, Arizona. 4-1 Mariners. Dave Sims, Jeff Houston, and Mike Blowers with you. Windy day, but we're enjoying it anyway. Wind, as you look at the batter's eye, that wind is blowing hard towards right field. It's not affecting those folks up on the berm who are enjoying the sunshine.
Well, I know back in Colorado, at least in the Denver area, it's 31 degrees this morning, and down by my house they're expecting anywhere from 2 to 8 inches of snow.
Wow.
So I think they would take a little bit of wind.
Strike one to Eric Young Jr. You guys have such variances in weather.
Yeah, well, it was only 84 yesterday.
Exactly.
There. Yeah, 84. It was warmer in Denver yesterday than it was down here.
Breaking ball and a good one from Iwakuma. Iwakuma in his second inning of work. It's the wildest variance you guys have had during baseball season.
Oh, my goodness. The list is too long.
Okay.
Last year, opening day,
right.
It was 70, 72-ish. Beautiful day. Cooled off the next day.
Iwakuma will field.
Snowed out on Sunday.
Oh, man.
But that's why we live there.
Right. Mike, when we were in Denver last time, we thought Roy Corcoran was going to be pulled up in a tornado. I mean, all of a sudden these clouds,
That's right. Yeah.
Clouds moved in, and it looked like it stuck right over the mound, and Roy Corcoran was in the mound. I said, Corky, what'd you feel like? He said, not real good, pal. Like the funnel cloud was going to come down and get him. Dexter Fowler, 1 for 2, laid down a beautiful bunt.
Ouch. Oh, Miguel Olivo. What a good guy.
Amen.
Great.
Has a smile on his face and just enjoys playing the game of baseball.
Plays it hard, plays it clean. To left field, well stroked. Figgins is back, makes the catch. Nicely done. Levo went deep yesterday, big 3-run homer to tie it up against Kansas City in a Mariner 6-4 win. That's what the outfielders are dealing with. Infielders too on pop-ups. Outfielders are really catching.
No clouds.
Factor in that wind.
We had the sunshine out here today. This morning I was standing outside the clubhouse. It was probably around 8 o'clock, and Olivo gets there early.
Oh, yeah.
And I was sitting outside. He came walking out the door, and the sun hit him right in the face. And so he was talking about that a little bit. He was calling himself Dracula because the sun was blinding him. And I said, are you complaining about the sun? He goes, oh, no, not yet. He goes, we'll go up to Seattle here soon enough. I'm going to enjoy the last few days down here. But he had a big smile on his face and said he was healthy, ready to go, anxious like everybody else.
Well, the year he was with the Rockies, he should have been an all-star. That year, first 3 months, I don't think there was anybody better. And, of course, there was guys that were voted on, and I think Yadier Molina was on that all-star team. But the year Miguel had, he should have been an all-star when he was with the Rockies.
One one. Gonzalez. Big swing and a miss.
Nice to see.
So that year you're talking about 2010?
Yeah.
269, 14, and 58, but he got up to the good start, huh?
Yeah. He probably had 11 or 12 of those home runs before the All-Star break.
One of the leaders on the Mariner Ball Club. 1 and 2.
I think.
And that was the year Brian McCann, too, got off to the slow start. He was voted. I can't remember if it was Yadier or Brian. One of the two got voted on, but their stats didn't warrant being an all-star.
We were talking about yesterday. Olivo, I mentioned to Rick Griffin, their trainer. See, about one of the strongest guys. He says, without question, one of the strongest guys he's ever seen in the Mariner club.
Well, and that being said, they still have to cut down his games.
Agreed.
Last year, he caught a lot of games, and out of necessity, they needed him, and he wasn't one that was going to shy away from it. But I think if they could cut his games back, get him down to 120, 115 in that area, I think they would be happy to do that. But even as strong as he is, you just take a beating back there, and it will wear you out.
Did 130 games last year. We had him. I had him give me a count. How many times have you been hit? And at one point, remember, Mike, at one point in the season, it was just an absurd number of times he had been hit by foul balls and
bruised head to toe.
Yeah,
and it goes back to think about all those games that Pudge Rodriguez caught. Now you're talking 140-ish
in that Texas heat when he was
Texas
down there.
Heat,
yeah,
year after year after year.
Solidly hit. Oh, Kawasaki knocks it down, throws him out. Nice play. Muniori Kawasaki for the third out here in the sixth. He has been a lightning rod and an energetic player for the Mariners. A versatile player, and he comes up big here. Well done. Mariners. Good day to relax, take in some baseball, kick back. Nothing wrong with that. That's a good to-do list. How about the starters today? Jamie Moyer, Felix Hernandez. Moyer victimized by 3 unearned runs, but all in all, boys, pretty good outing for Mr. Moyer.
Well, it was, and it was something to build on. He's got time off before his next start, but the whole key for Jamie, I think you're past the point now of, can he get the job done? Is he going to be able to rebound? Is he coming back the next day? Is there unusual soreness? I think that's pretty much pushed out the window.
And I think on the flip side for Felix, his season has already started, and this Kelowna, you take a look at his numbers. But Felix, he's ready to go. I'm not surprised. A good idea for him just to pitch 4 innings. His total for the year is going to be over 230, I'm sure. So he looked like he was ready to go, dominant at times in the game today.
Kawasaki made the brilliant inning-ending play, leads it off against Edgemere Escalona. 6'4", 235 out of La Guaira in Venezuela.
Power arm with a heavy sink, hard slider. Pitched in 14 ball games, 25 and 2/3 last year for the Rockies, and a 1.75 ERA.
Slapped down the line, foul. Your bullpen back end still.
Betancourt will be the closer. Rex Brothers, the left-hander, will be the setup guy, and when Betancourt's not able to go, Brothers will be the closer. He's a closer in waiting.
Okay.
And then Matt Belisle can also close. And Matt's so versatile for the Rockies. He can go out and pitch the 6th or 7th if you need a shutdown then, or pitch the 9th.
Betancourt's still one of the slower operators going?
Well, yes, he is.
We remember for the American League.
He's trying to speed it up, but his whole thought process is, I've got 3 outs to get. I don't care how long it takes me.
All right.
If he's got dinner plans, you might just go ahead and put him on hold.
So when the Mariners come, we'll have a sundial on him. Mariners and the Rockies get together in May 18, 19, 20, a weekend series in Denver. Look forward to that. We see your entire division this year. Dodgers and Giants come to us. We go to you in Arizona. And, of course, we play that our arch rivals, our bitter enemies, the San Diego Padres. Our annual home and home.
Yeah, I wasn't a big proponent, and I've said this before, of interleague play. I just thought I'm more of a traditionalist, but the more it happens, I like it. I'm not sure about next year how it's going to work.
Yeah, that's going to be different. Up the middle, Kawasaki bending for a base hit. He does. He gets it. Moriori Kawasaki's having a day, folks. Double, single, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Let's check in with Jenny Kevnar right now down in the Rockies dugout.
Yeah, standing by with Carlos Gonzalez. And as we're ending spring training, approaching the season, how would you sum up how the last couple weeks have gone for you, and did you accomplish what you set out to do?
Well, I feel really good. I'm really excited about the season. We're all ready to go to Houston to start playing games, and when it counts. It's sometimes spring training gets a little longer, but that's the reason why we're here. We're here to work out every single day to get better, and just try to be prepared for the season.
There was an event that spiced up spring training yesterday between Ubaldo Jimenez and True Tulowitzki. You weren't playing in the game yesterday, but when you heard the news, what was your initial reaction?
Well, as a player, you don't want to be involved in that. You don't want to be part of that, and at the same time, you don't want to do that to the fans. There's a lot of fans watching the game. They come every single day to the stadium to watch a really good baseball, not a fight. And it's one of the things that we have to keep it in the past, let it go, and just concentrate on what we're here. We have to concentrate on playing baseball and how to make this team better.
Well, the good news is Trey looks like he will be healthy and ready to start the season with you guys. He's also taken on a little bit more of a leadership role. How has it helped adding some older guys to this clubhouse? What's the clubhouse culture change been like?
It's been great, all the additions, and like you mentioned, Troy has been a leader. He's doing a great job. We all try to get along to each other, and like I say, it's all about making this team better, be a successful guys, and we just need to get along every single night because we have to go out there and battle together. And the only reason that we're here is because we're very proud to wear this uniform, and at the same time, we want to win a World Championship.
All right, Carlos, thanks so much for your time. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Very classy. Carlos Gonzalez. Mike, we saw him in Oakland a few years ago, and then now he's a big-time star.
He's found a home. He's not going anywhere, and wow. And everybody talked about his talent and the things that he could do, and they talked about his arm and his power and his bat and all that stuff. I don't know if it was just a lack of getting a real opportunity to play or what it came down to, because there's no denying the talent the young man has.
0-2 to Figgins.
And that's the key. He had the opportunity when he came over to Colorado, because when he was with Arizona, he was traded for Dan Herron. And then he's in Oakland. He gets traded in the Matt Holliday deal. So he comes to Colorado, struggles early on. And there was talk of people saying, is he going to get sent down at the All-Star break? Jim Tracy said, no, he's my guy. He's staying. And Jim stayed with him, and Carlos rewarded him for that.
Boy, I'll say. 0-2 to Figgins. Kawasaki at first-time call.
But those are a couple big names to be traded for, so it wasn't like it was a couple dozen baseballs and maybe a box of bats.
Dan Herron, we'll see plenty of him with the Angels. And Holliday's doing pretty well with the Cardinals. Ranging to his right, and that's all they're going to get. Chris Nelson makes the play on Kawasaki.
Smart play from Chris Nelson. And Chris, chance he'll be the opening day third baseman, but playing second base today to catch that ball, get that lead runner.
Good baseball sense. Really good.
Yeah, former #1 pick the last 2 years has upped his game.
Here's Brendan Ryan. Ryan's having a nice day. 2 for 3. Doubled in the first. RBI single in the fourth. Mariners have banged out 10 hits. I hope this kind of hitting continues into the regular season. The Mariners in the Cactus League, and again, it is Cactus League numbers, but they're 4th in hitting. Rockies at number 5 in the Cactus League, 3rd in runs scored. Escalona is a big man, 6'4", 235.
And even at that, he's bigger when you get closer to him. One of those type of guys.
Listen, Mike laughing.
Well, hey, you shake his hand and it just engulfs your hand.
Not going to be too many volunteers going to the mound, huh?
No. Well, you wouldn't be very smart. Let's put it that way if you did.
Well, in watching him, he looks like he's out there just having a catch. He looks like, hey, just 94, no problem. Here's an 84-mile-an-hour slider, and it looks like there's more in there if he wants it.
Comes right from the hip. Jeff, one of our highly regarded pitchers, Taijuan Walker.
I was just thinking that.
He takes hardly any windup, and it's like he's 95, 96.
Those guys are just blessed.
I mean, the ball just explodes. Because I thought, the first time I saw him, I thought it was just sort of like that first, second loose. And then I watched the third, fourth pitch. This one back up the middle. Gets through. Yes, it does. Figgins on his horse. He'll get the third. A 3-hit day for Brendan Ryan. And the Mariners, with runners at the corners, 1 out here in the 6th.
And it looks like this fastball gets in on Brendan's hands, slicing it back up the middle. Great effort by Herrera. Brendan choking up a little bit. Probably the difference ends up getting enough of the barrel to it to fight it off back up the middle for a base hit.
Good point, because if he's not choked up on that, he would lose that inch you're talking about, and instead of getting it more towards the sweet spot, that would have been on the label, if not below. Ground ball, double play out of the inning.
So Ichiro, big 2-out RBI double in the third. He looks at breaking ball down low. He's 1 for 3 today. Mariners with a run in the third on that Ichiro hit. Then they put 3 more on the board, all unearned in the fourth. Colorado got its run in the 5th. That hit by Ryan was number 11 on the day. Just 2 hits for Colorado. One and one. In there for strike. And if you're just joining us, Franklin Gutierrez, you Mariner fans, took batting practice today, a little bit after 11 o'clock today, and he looked good. He's ahead of schedule. Coming off the torn pectoral muscle. 2-2. Chris Chambliss, the hitting coach, hoping for another base hit here from Ichiro. 2-2. Counts run full. Justin Smoke's on deck. No Dustin Ackley today, still under the weather. The after effects of the trip to Japan. Ditto Michael Saunders. 3-2.
The Rockies just changed their defense on that. Prior to this pitch, they had been playing up the middle with Jonathan Herrera and Chris Nelson a double play death with the Ichiro at his speed hitting from the left side. Playing it more like a regular season game where you can't afford to fall behind by any more runs.
Ball 4 as Ryan was on the move. Bases are loaded again for the Mariners.
Hey, Rockies fans, don't forget Coca-Cola value packs are back this year. They're available every value game. That's for either $59 or $79 depending on your seat location. And with this value pack, you get 4 tickets for hot dogs, Cokes, and more. Call 303-ROCKIES or visit ColoradoRockies.com for more information.
1 out, no place to put Smoke. Bases are loaded. Figgins at third, Ryan at second, Ichiro at first. Smoke today, a walk, pop to second, fly to center. So the fastball, strike 1. Here's Figgins, Brendan Ryan, and Ichiro. Edgmer Escalona on the mound for Colorado, second pitcher today for the Rockies. 0-1 to Smoke.
Well, Smoke's got to be happy with Ichiro hitting third this year.
Yeah, he'll hit behind him all year long, and if things go the way they hope that they do with Figgins and then Ackley, the young second baseman, and then, of course, Ichiro, he should have some opportunities to drive in runs this year.
3 fast guys on in front of him, too. 0-2 pitch. Eric Wedge, bench coach Robbie Thompson. Hoping for a big Smoke here. Breaking ball. 2-2. Pride of Goose Creek, South Carolina, just outside of Charleston. Justin Smoke. Solidly hit, base hit. Figgins will score. Ryan held up at third, so Smoke comes through, and Mike again, like we saw in that game in Japan, going opposite field from the left-hand side. Nice job by Smoke. That's his 4th, make that his 5th RBI of the spring.
And it looks like he's getting more and more comfortable. Just a fastball running away from him. Hits a low line drive into left field. Brendan Ryan had to wait to see if it was going to get past the third baseman, and it does. Important, I think, for Justin to get off to a good start. He's had a great spring in Japan. He's also hit a home run there to get that off the board, get his first home run of the year. Looks like his day is done now, the pinch runner for him, so he's finished.
Good job by Smoke. Brian Brito will take over. He's got a pinch run. There's Jamie Moyer walking back. 4 runs, only 1 earned, given up by Jamie Moyer. Here's Montero, base hit to left. Runs scored, 1 for 3. Base is still loaded, 1 out. Oh, jeez. Ay, ay, ay. Wow. Thank goodness for the big helmets. Boy, he is upset.
It looked like he was hit with a breaking ball. A slider, backup slider, just got away and hit him in the helmet.
Good job by Jeff Datson. Eric Wedge Ryan to get in front of Montero because he wants a piece of Escalona.
They're going to get him out of the game. Not going to give that even a chance.
Exactly right. Wow. That is scary.
You see Escalona motioning to Montero. It was a breaking pitch.
Got away.
Sorry, it got away from me. I'm not trying to hit you with the bases loaded.
Absolutely not.
But that is a scary proposition for a hitter.
Anytime.
You can't get out of the way. The ball's just chasing you.
Clearly got away. Well, warnings for both, for everybody. Escalona, the last thing he's thinking about.
Yeah.
It is spring training. He's working on stuff.
He obviously was not trying to hit him with the pitch at all. But on the flip side of it, as a hitter, especially in today's game, anything up around the head, accident or not, they're going to get upset about it. And that's where Montero was. And
he was he knew where that bat was. It was going to take a while to hold him back. So they're going to have to get a pinch runner for him.
Oh, with the safety issues and concussions, those are the things you worry about. But the new helmets have helped.
Certainly better than what they used to be. Like when I was a kid, a long time ago, guys were basically wearing glorified cardboard.
There's trainer Rick Griffin having a conversation with him.
You may want to keep a few of the big boys close to Montero so he doesn't make a move here.
I think he'll calm down quickly. Yeah. He's okay now, and I think, I think it's that initial shock of it that sets you off right away.
The shock and the anger, you put them together.
Right. He'll be okay.
So another run on the board for the Mariners, 6-1. John Jaso, will pinch run. He'll stay on and catch. There's Casper Wells. Improve his lot in a big spot here. Bases loaded, 1 out. He's 1 for 3 today. One to one. A lot of times you get hit like that, your presence of mind isn't such that you know where the bat exactly is. He went right to the bat. I mean, he was that angry. Talking about Montero.
I think we're all happy that nothing came of that.
Here, here.
Well, especially from the Rockies' point of view after what happened yesterday. You don't need another benches just emptying and milling around. You see guys get hurt that way.
Wells fouls it into the catcher's glove. He strikes out for the second time today. They're 2 down here in the 6th.
Jim's made a motion to the bullpen to bring in the left-hander Matt Reynolds.
So Peguero will be facing a left-handed pitcher as Escalona takes his leave. Mariners here in the 2nd have 2 on the board, looking for more. 6-1 Seattle.
The countdown to opening day continues. Don't miss Seattle.
be in the sun here in Arizona. We're in Peoria, home of the Mariners and the Padres. And the first of 3 consecutive meetings, the Mariners and the Rockies. And Escalona had a curveball getaway. He hit that man right there, Jesus Montero, in the back of the helmet. Montero, not pleased, grabbed the bat and was making moves towards the mound, and thankfully he was cut off. 6-1 Seattle with the bases still loaded and 2 outs. Matt Reynolds takes over on the mound for Colorado.
Well, one of the lefties in the pen for the Colorado Rockies, and part of Matt's problem has been left on left, trying to get the left-handers out, and that's why Jim Tracy brought him in this situation. They're trying to maybe tinker with his arm slot, drop it down to get more deception for the left-handers. Let's see if he uses it today or more straight over the top. That one was over the top.
Peguero today, he was hit by a pitch twice in his first and third at-bats by Jamie Moyer. Struck out in between.
And after being hit twice, he probably, if he heard Jeff, went, great. Now I have another lefty that's going to drop down on me.
And one that throws harder.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
All right. How's my day going?
Long foul. Matt Reynolds. 2 big guys going head-to-head. Peguero's every bit of 6'5", so's Matt Reynolds. 6'5", 240 out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Out of Austin Peay. That's where Austin Peay State University. Sean Kelly went there. Mariners swing and a miss. And that'll do it as Reynolds gets the job done. He beats Peguero on that one. The Mariners leave. The bases loaded. They do score twice and have a 6-1 lead.
Mariners on top 6-1. Hi everybody, Angie Bentink here at the Northwest Ford Sports Desk. If you are a geek, and I say that with the most affection, well then this next thing is for you. You can follow the Mariners with MLB.com at Bat12 for your iPhone, iPad, or Android. Get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at Bat to 31826. Back down to Arizona.
6-1 Mariners. As we begin the 7th inning here in Peoria, Dave Sims, Jeff Houston, and Mike Blowers. Good to have you with us. And news around Major League Baseball. Not a surprise here. Ubaldo Jimenez suspended 5 games and fined an undisclosed amount of money for hitting Troy Tulowitzki yesterday. Jeff, you were there. I saw the videotape. Yeah. You were there. That's not a big surprise at all.
No, not when you throw your glove down right after the pitch and basically challenge the guy. He hits him. Troy takes a step, and Ubaldo's the aggressor in this whole instance. I know Troy said some things to him, but it's your natural reaction to say something to the guy. He threw his bat away, took 2 steps towards him, but the whole time watching this go on, they were having to try to hold back Ubaldo.
Montero had to be held back here earlier. Just a few minutes ago, he was hit on a breaking ball by Escalona was not trying to hit him with a bases loaded situation. Jim Tracy.
And it's going to make Jim Tracy very happy to see that Ubaldo got the 5 games after talking to Jim and listening to his press conference after the ball game, that he would be shocked and disappointed if he was not suspended and or fined. And he got both of those.
Well, and Rosario fouls off the first pitch from Masashi Iwakuma. This is his 3rd inning. He's given up a run and has not given up a hit.
I think that you're right, Jeff. It wasn't necessarily the pitch that hit Tulowitzki. It was the way Ubaldo approached it right. I mean, it was immediate, too. Even though Tulowitzki said something, I think just his reaction to it basically is what got him the suspension.
It was a proactive, aggressive move.
Proactive is the right word, because he was the aggressor in the whole instant. And Bud Selig was at the game yesterday.
I heard that, yeah.
You could say all you want about, I didn't mean to do it, the ball got away from me, but when the commissioner is sitting in the ballpark, he's got the bird's eye view as well.
Talk to the hand, son. Talk to the hand. Got the videotape, sent it back to Joe Torre and the crew back on Park Avenue, and that was an easy decision. 1 for 2 day for Rosario. A double in the 2nd, ground out the 3rd in the 4th. Castillo, the new left fielder for the Mariners. You got Brito at 3rd, Marte at shortstop, and Liddy goes from 3rd to 1st.
We were talking about Iwakuma being the long guy out of the pen, so he's getting his 3rd inning of work today, stretching him out. Felix pitching the first 4.
One and 2.
And the other issue you have down in spring training, I know for at least for the Rockies, and I think it's this way for the Mariners, is the minor league camps have already broken.
Exactly.
So you can't go down to a minor league game and get your work in.
Off-speed pitch hit, foul.
Which is another difference this spring compared to other springs, where the minor leagues break before your major league camp is done.
And then you also, because you're still here playing and you want to get your regulars out of there, you have to make adjustments to all the different clubs down there to keep some of these kids who are now in the game for the Mariners, to keep them around so you just have enough bodies.
The Rockies have done that with some of the guys that are up from extended spring or are going to be here for extended spring.
John Jaso, the new catcher. 2 and 2. Look at the Mariner infield. Brito, Marte, Kawasaki, and Liddy. 2-2. Well hit, and that's not coming back. They got all of that, baby. Home run for Willen Rosario. That is his 4th home run of the spring. RBI number 12. 6-2 Mariners.
And that's what this young man can provide. Elevated fastball, led her high, and there was no doubt. He cut through that teeth of the wind, whatever it was. It doesn't matter. It looked like a 2-iron.
Sounded like a shotgun went off.
Man, duck. Tyler Colvin. Certain neighborhoods, you're grabbing some pavement, you hear one of those things go off.
That was loud.
(6-2) Mariners. Mariners 6 runs, 12 hits, and an error. 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for Colorado. Two-hit day for Rosario.
And he's earned the backup role. There was a question, would it be more beneficial for him to start the year in AAA and get all those at-bats or play 2 or 3 times a week at the Major League level?
Colvin fooled on that one. He strikes out. Jamie Moyer spent a couple of minutes with Jenny Kevnar.
Yeah, Jamie Moyer with another start today, getting set to make a season start on Saturday. You know, your mindset, Jamie, coming in was let's test the arm. Let's see how things are going. What's your mindset now that you're going to be starting on Saturday?
Well, the regular season for me is just an extension of spring training. And, today I was able to get up over 100 pitches, which was good. But, I was wishing I would have gotten deeper into the game with it. But, each step for me is, I don't want to say it's a milestone, but it's a stepping stone. And, I need to get a little more sharp. But, I'm excited to get this season underway.
Yeah, you talk about that milestone. Fans are obviously watching the history of this in progress. Do you try and enjoy the moment? Do you see yourself that way? Or are you just another baseball player going out for another season?
Yeah, I don't play for those milestones. It's all about us winning. And I think, it's important for us to get off to a good start here in Houston. So hopefully Jeremy has a good start and I can follow it and we can create some momentum in our pitching staff.
Well, I think an important part of that clubhouse culture and when Dan O'Dowd wanted to add some veteran players is he wanted mentors and teachers. And we've seen you do that with some of the other pitchers. But today we saw you do that with Rosario behind the plate. What's your role been in his development?
Well, we talk. We talk a lot about pitching, especially during the first of the game on the bench. Obviously my style is a lot different than most pitchers. So, it's probably maybe a little more difficult for him, dealing with a guy like myself. But sometimes I'm difficult to deal with myself. So, it is what it is. But, it's trying to get him to think, and we're playing the cat and mouse game. I think he's learning how to call a game very well. He catches the ball well. He throws the ball well. And he's a good hitter. So, this kid's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential. So it's going to be exciting to see him play, and I'm excited to throw to him.
Well, we're excited to see you play on Saturday. Thanks so much for your time, Jamie.
All right, thank you, Jenny.
All right, guys, Linda, back to you.
Jenny and Jamie, thank you very much. Pretty good assessment of the young catcher, huh?
Well, it is, and Jamie's seen a lot of catchers. He's thrown to a lot of catchers, and to see the talent that Rosario has, it's pretty high praise coming from Jamie.
That young man was impressive with the swing just a few minutes ago with that home run up on the berm. 2 outs after the strikeout of Nelson. Here's Jordan Pacheco. Tap back to the pitcher, a walk, stolen base, and a run scored.
And after giving up the home run, Iwakuma bounced back nicely with a couple of strikeouts. Again, this is his 3rd inning of work today.
So the rotation for the Rockies: Guthrie at 1, Jamie Moyer at 2, Nicasio at 3, and Chacin at 4. And then you've got coming up the rookie, Drew Pomeranz.
Right, and the reason why they maybe slid Jamie to the number 2 spot is to take the pressure off of Nicasio, who's coming back from the broken neck last year, and Chacin that is still looking for him to take that next leap forward.
There's a look at the rotation.
And Paul Morantz will be down. He'll pitch the game down in the minor leagues before he's activated on the 15th. And we already heard Jenny talk about it. That Jamie will not be put onto the opening day roster until that Saturday. So it allows you the luxury of the one game to carry somebody else. And Chacin has pitched enough in Coors Field that he gets the opening day start there.
We get a chance to see Nicasio tomorrow. His last tune-up of the spring. Is that right?
Yes.
I believe that's correct.
Yes.
I'm anxious to see him. I've heard so much about him, especially with the terrible injury that he suffered. But more importantly, the way the young man has bounced back from that. I'm anxious to see him pitch tomorrow.
A remarkable story. And if he had been in Coors Field last year, you would just think about the guy just real close to, one, either dying or two, being paralyzed out on the mound from the broken neck. It happens where his neck was broken. But then to see the recovery after he's in the halo in the locker room and just day by day, step by step. And it was interesting because I saw his first outing down here in spring training, and I was wondering what happens when that first ball goes back through the box. There was a line drive right over his head, either the first or second hitter of his outing this spring. What's he do next pitch? 95 miles an hour, fastball, right down the middle. And it was like, okay, nothing happened. Let's quit talking about it from his perspective.
Right.
Great.
From our perspective, it's still a phenomenal story.
Iwakuma, full count to Pacheco. 2 out, nobody on. A run in on the home run by Rosario. We'll reload. Glad to have you with us here. Baseball in the sunshine. Working with Jeff Houston and Mike Blowers, I'm Dave Sims. 2 outs, 3-2 pitch from Iwakuma. Into right field. Here comes Ichiro. Easy catch. So Iwakuma gives up a home run to Rosario on a 2-2 pitch leading off the inning, and then he shuts the door the rest of the way. To the home 7th. It's the Mariners 6, the Rockies 2.
Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. And by Sterling Bank. Life is about the good stuff. Your bank should be too. Visit our new website at bankwithsterling.com. Always wonder, what is the plural for cactus? Is it cacti? I'm not really sure. We got more important things to do, like a baseball game down in Arizona.
6-2 Mariners as we are about to play the home 7th here in Peoria, Arizona. Time now for the Sterling Bank in-game box score. Jamie Moyer, good accounting of himself in 5 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs, only 1 earned. A walk and 5 strikeouts. Felix Hernandez, he continues his outstanding pitching. Muniori Kawasaki, 3 for 3. The Mariners starting second baseman today, and all 9 Seattle starters reached base. And Willow Rosario, he just hit a home run here in the top half of the 7th inning. There's Alex Liddy to lead it off for the Mariners. Mariners sent 8 men to the plate in the 6th inning. They scored twice, left the bases loaded.
Alex 1 for 3 in the game. Again, having an outstanding spring.
Back up this way. Look out.
Heads up.
Nice catch.
Yeah, right in front of us. I can hear it hit his hand.
I don't need a glove.
I don't need no stinking glove. Just reached up. I'm fine. How are you?
I don't need one either. I'd have been getting out of the way.
You would have been underneath the desk.
Strike 3 called. Liddy. Call down on strikes. Here comes Kawasaki. Matt Reynolds, 3rd pitcher today for Colorado. Mark Tracy's at first now, Jim's son. Manager Jose Rivera at second, David Hernandez at shortstop for Colorado. How about the day that Kawasaki's had double, run scored, single, RBI, run scored, and an infield hit, 3 for 3. Count at 1-1. Kawasaki getting to play the entire game with Dustin Ackley still under the weather. Talked to Dustin in the clubhouse today. Eating has been a problem for him. Fly ball left field. Center fielder Fowler out there makes the catch. 2 down. And stepping up is Phillips Castillo. He took over in left field for Sean Figgins. Fly ball right field, battling the sun. That is a fair ball. Castillo. And he's going to get a ground rule double as it bounces over the fence. Actually, it went outside there, so he gets a ground rule double.
He gets a fastball, middle in, inside out swing. I like seeing the young guys come in there, get their hacks in right away. Be aggressive, get your hacks in.
Why not?
Yeah.
You're not going to walk your way to the big leagues.
Correct. Ketel Marte is the hitter now. A lot of young kids had their opportunity to be here in camp. Look at he's 18 years old. 1-1.
18 in a spring training game. I'm still worried about prom.
I hear you. That's a good call. That's a really good call. Through the shortstop. Coming through around third and scoring is Castillo. And it's now 7-2 Mariners. So on E6. No RBI.
Well, it's just a case of not staying down on the baseball. Whenever your head goes up, your glove is going to automatically follow it. It's almost as if it's on a string. And that's a great lesson to teach all the young kids is work from the ground up.
Another at bat for Ichiro. 1 for 3 with an RBI. The Japanese photographers on hand. They monitor everything that Ichiro does. And we certainly got evidence of that the first 2 games against the Athletics. We were commentating on the Japanese feed. And no matter what happened in the game, no matter where it was in the game, when in doubt, take a shot of Ichiro. I'm told that the only person in Japan more recognizable, line drive right field, base hit for Ichiro. The only person more recognizable in the nation of Japan is the Emperor. That's how big his queue is over in Japan. So a base hit for Ichiro, his second of the day. Brian Brito.
And you're sure he's second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By a cat's whisker.
I often wondered what it was like for him over there, because when I was there in '99 playing, he was already a superstar at that point. And then, you watch him have all the success he's had over here for the last 10, 11 years. Fans had to just be thrilled to have him there for a couple of days.
Brian Brito came in as a pinch runner for Smoke. That was back in the 6th. 1-1. A 20-year-old from the Dominican. Right into the glove of catcher Will Nieves. Got Will Nieves catching, Mark Tracy at first, Jose Rivera at second, David Hernandez at shortstop. All the young kids, a lot of young kids kept in reserve here for this game. Pulled a string on him. Matt Reynolds, strikeout. And we have 7 complete here in Peoria. Mariners enjoying a 7-2 lead.
These days, it's important to keep your car operating at its best.
Tink here, reminding you, what better way to watch the Mariners on the Safeco Field Diamond than from Diamond Club seats. They're located right behind home plate. Considered the best seats in the house, and I will agree, you'll enjoy unlimited food and beverage, plus receive first-rate service right from your seat. For more information, visit mariners.com/premium. All right, back down to Arizona, and Dave Sims for the 8th.
7-2 Mariners lead over the Rockies. Mariners will be playing the Rockies tomorrow and on Wednesday over at their, you got a spectacular facility over there, Jeff. Just spectacular.
And each time you go, you think, well, I didn't see that last time I came. There's something else that just strikes you and says there was nothing left to chance in this building.
Well, they did it right. No question. Mariners 7-2, new pitcher Sean Kelly. He takes over, and Mike, good to see him back on the bump after giving up that home run to Cespedes in the second game over in Japan.
Yeah, you can see that he's had a good spring. Things have gone well for him that particular game, or that one pitch certainly didn't, but we'll get another innings of work here. Maybe pitch one more time. Really get started up again.
Long fly ball off the bat of Brendan Harris. Harris's strikeout and RBI ground out. One. That's the pitch he wanted to throw to Cespedes the other day, and it hung up for him, and Cespedes pounded it. That's the Cuban that came over the big $36 million ticket. Showed some pop on that pitch in night number 2.
Be interesting to see how he does throughout the course of a season.
Swing and a miss. There goes Harris. Let's check it with Brad Adams standing by with Kyle Seeger.
All right, Dave, guys, thank you very much. Yes, Miguel Olivo saying hello as well. And Kyle, you mentioned that you're feeling pretty good, pretty normal right now. What's it been like for you to kind of get ramped up to play those 2 games in Tokyo, come back here and kind of decompress? Now you got to get right back up again for Friday's season, I guess, game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a different situation, having played 2 regular games and now you're coming back to the spring training games. But I mean, it was so exciting over there. I mean, we went over there a little earlier than normal season would have started. So, I mean, it was just an unbelievable experience over there. It was awesome.
Now, you're playing everywhere. We saw you yesterday at first. You played everywhere in the infield. At this point in your career, a big reason why you're here is your versatility. Are you okay with being that utility guy right now at this point in your career?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you want to do anything you can to get on the field. You want to do anything you can to make the team. So, I mean, I think playing the more positions you can play, the better off you are for you, and, the better off you can help the team. So I'm happy playing wherever they want me to play.
Hey, forget about versatility for a second. Let's talk about power. 4 home runs, guys. I said 4 home runs this spring, but he corrected me. It was 5, but a rain out against these Rockies, so took that one away. So it's 4 official, including 1 yesterday. Where's this newfound power from, like we see here yesterday?
I made a little adjustment this offseason. Going into the offseason, I thought one of the things I needed to really work on was to hit the ball harder and more consistently. So one of the main things I went into this offseason was trying to basically use my legs more and use my hips and shoulders a little bit better than I have. And it was just basically like a little tuck. That's kind of the main thing about it. Just kind of tucking my shoulder a little bit, which makes me get the ball a little deeper, which makes me use my hips better and my shoulders better. And so far, it's feeling good. It's coming along. It's not. I don't know if it's ever going to be completely where you want it to be, but I mean, right now it's starting to feel pretty comfortable.
I'm going to give you a quick tip here. What you should have said is that because now that you're a married man, everything's easier. The ball flies farther. Everything is just clear to you. It's easier to pick up the pitcher's motion because now you're a married man. Give all the credit to the wife.
Well, that's what I was going to say, but I think you cut me off there, so I didn't have time to get to that part. So, yeah, now that I'm a married man, everything is just easier, right?
I tell you what, guys, he's newlywed, he's a young guy, but he's learning quick. That's right. That's the right answer.
Hey, Brad, he's coachable. He's coachable.
Exactly, yeah.
Coachable.
Thanks,
1-2-3 inning here in the 8th. We'll take a break. It's 7-2 Mariners. We'll get him into a game before long, so mark it down. There's a star in the making. Look at this. Going to get it. Track it. He didn't quit. Got the glove ready. Yeah. Oh!
All out.
Great hustle.
Yes.
What an effort.
Hey, do it again.
Do it again. I'm ready.
I remember that. Again. That's
Get in
beautiful.
position, throw it.
That's beautiful. Nice.
Barehanded.
That's how you start him. He's running his intervals already. That's not bad.
Tire him out before bedtime.
What, too much sugar? Now you're paying for it. So Here's John Jaso going to lead it off for the Mariners. His first plate appearance. He took over for Montero after Montero got hit in the head.
Yeah, and Ismael Rogers coming into today's game. Another bullpen pitcher for the Rockies.
Jaso coming over from Tampa Bay. Another guy, versatility. Joe Madden had him leading off on occasion. Jaso playing in just game number 10.
With Joe Madden, you're not sure where you're going to be. Longoria led off some.
That's right.
Last year. What a fabulous manager. Though.
Joe, manager of the year in the American League, and he's one of the all-time good baseball guys. Been around forever. Angels organization for a very long time. I get a kick out every time I say him. What are your themes this year? All right, we got a road trip where we're wearing all black. We got a road trip where we're wearing pajamas. The Western look, the Beach Boy look. I mean, it keeps him loose. Strike 3 call. Jaso's gone. One out. There's Casper Wells. He has a hit today. 1 for 4, a couple of strikeouts, one looking, one swinging. Gobbled up down there by Mark Tracy. Skipper's son, 2 outs.
Duquesne University product.
Out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yes, sir. Jim was the last time, I think first time I met Jim, he was the Pirate manager. They came in and played in Seattle about, 08. Played the National League Central that year. Nice man.
After he had left the Dodgers after managing them for a number of years.
There's Peguero.
He's saying thank you. A right-hander on the hill.
Fouls off a breaking ball.
For those that hadn't seen it, Carlos was a bit of a pincushion early in the game. Been hit a couple of times by Jamie Moyer.
Elbow and mid-back. Lower mid-back. Better numbers against lefties. That's something. Couldn't hold up. He went. He's gone. Quick inning. 9th inning coming up. Mariners have banged out 14 hits and lead 7-2.
Separate the Mariners from another win. They lead at 7-2. Hey, it is a catcher you'll find in your own home rather than behind home plate. Saturday, April 21st, the first 10,000 fans receive a kitchen catcher, a compact collection bin to dispose of your food waste at home, courtesy of BASF. For tickets to April 21st game versus the White Sox, visit Mariners.com. Back down to Dave Sims.
Underway here, top of the 9th. 0-1 to Dexter Fowler. Sean Kelly, his second inning of work. He pitched in 1, 2, 3, 8th. Ball with 2 strikes. Liddy flips to Kelly. 1 out. 2 runs today by the Rockies. An infield RBI by Brendan Harris. That was in the 5th, and a home run by Willen Rosario leading off the 7th. Mariners have 7 runs, 14 hits, and Aaron have left 12. 2-3-2 for the Rockies. They've left 2 on. So you look at young outfielder Juan Cruzet.
Another one of those minor league guys that you keep around to play in the late innings. Doesn't matter to him.
Hits this one well. Left field. Nobody's going to get that one. One hop off the fence. And he's got a 1-out double.
Some power to the opposite gap, Mike.
Take a look at the pitch up out over the plate. Throws his hands at it, and on a day when the wind has been blowing in for the most part, going the other way into the gap, short hopping the fence out there. Well, most of the regulars are out of the game. Go out there, and maybe the Rockies manager and the coaches and everybody else will put that one back of their mind when they see him again next year, or maybe sometime later this year, depending on where he's at.
Yeah, and it'll get back to the minor league director, Jeff Bridich. Hey, send us that kid again if we need a...
Ooh, look at this one, a throw it and duck special. Kelly has to get out of the way. Hard base hit by Will Nieves.
A line drive right back up the box. Nieves was beat out for the backup spot by Rosario. But as you know how it is with catchers. You go down, and even if you don't make the team, there's foul tips. There's all kinds of things that can happen. Don't put your head down. Go down and hit and do your business, and who knows what happens when you get called back up.
There's Mark Tracy. Before he got hurt, you had seen a lot of Buster Posey with the Giants, right?
Yes.
And he was really special that year, huh?
Yes, he was.
Chance to turn 2. They get it done, and that's your ball game. Mariners win it by the count of 7-2. Mariners go to 15-8-1 in the spring. Colorado 16-14-1. Your final thoughts, Mr. Houston, sir?
Well, I just look at Jamie Moyer's outing today, and I know he didn't go as long into the ball game as he would like to have, but to be able to throw over 100 pitches, to me, that was the key for Jamie today as he prepares for Saturday's outing in Houston.
And I thought for the Mariners today, Felix obviously having to get his work in, only 4 innings of work, but I thought he set the tone today. Eric Wedge had talked about the last few days, the club a little bit flat after their travels to Japan, and I thought Felix coming out and dominating over the 4 innings that he pitched. Mariners come back and throw out 14 hits today, so offensively he's going to be pleased about that.
Yes, they will be, and these two teams will do it again tomorrow over at Salt River Fields and Talking Stick. I remembered it this time. Like a couple of years ago, I was getting all tongue-tied with it. To Jeff Houston and Mike Blowers, I'm Dave Sims. Catch you tomorrow, everybody. We'll do it again. The Mariners and the Rockies. Mariners win this one by the final of 7-2. So long from Peoria, Arizona.